It gives me to warmly welcome you all to this important program on the theme Empowering Teacher Education through Generative AI, Literacy, Co-creation, and Innovation, which is being organized by CENDLOS with support from the Commonwealth of Learning. CENDLOS is implementing the second phase of the Teacher in the Loop project, and this phase emphasizes on co-creation, mentoring to support the use of open education resources and generative AI among pre-service teachers in Ghana. We are living in a transformative moment for education. Generative artificial intelligence is no longer a distant concept. It is rapidly becoming part of our everyday teaching, learning, and knowledge creation processes. For the teacher education in particular, this moment presents both an opportunity and a responsibility. An opportunity to reimagine how teachers learn, create, and collaborate, and a responsibility to ensure that these technologies are used ethically, inclusively, and meaningfully. The focus on this AI literacy program is especially timely. Empowering teachers begins with enabling them to understand AI, not merely as users of tools, but as informed professionals who can critically evaluate, adapt, and guide learners in an AI-enhanced world. Literacy here goes beyond technical skills, as will be explained later by our facilitators. It includes ethical awareness, pedagogical judgment, and a deep commitment to learner-centered education. Equally important is the idea of co-creation. Generative AI has the potential to shift teachers from being passive consumers of content to active co-creators of knowledge, learning resources, and innovative practices. When educators collaborate with technology and with each other, they open new pathways for creativity, contextual relevance, and inclusive learning experiences. Innovation in teacher education is not about replacing human insight with machines, as I always say wherever I go. It is about amplifying human potential. It is about using AI to reduce routine burdens, personalize learning, support reflective practices, and strengthen professional communities, while keeping human values at the core of education. In this context, the leadership of CENDLOS and the continued support of the Commonwealth of Learning are deeply significant. Our commitment to open, equitable, and future-ready education provides a strong foundation for meaningful dialogue and practical outcomes from this program. I am confident that today's deliberations will inspire thoughtful engagement, critical reflection, and actionable ideas that will help shape the future of teacher education in the age of generative AI. With these words, I once again welcome you all, and I wish the program every success. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Omen. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, we can all hear you.
Thank you, Executive Director, for the welcome address. And as Executive Director indicated, this is a collaboration between CENDLOS and the Commonwealth of Learning. So we also have a consultant from Commonwealth of Learning, in the person of Professor Okitapon Dumemo. So, Prof, if you're online, if you can give us a brief remark.
All right. Good morning, colleagues, and I trust everyone is doing very well. I want, on behalf of Commonwealth of Learning, welcome all of you to today's webinar. It's one of the most important webinars that they have sponsored because the time in which we are, it's very necessary we have a conversation around the use of AI in education, especially at the colleges of education level, where pre-service and in-service teachers are trained. So it has become very, very essential and relevant for us to begin the conversation that leads to some policy direction. For example, as a country, we do not have an AI policy governing a lot of things that we do today. If you realize, most of the higher institutions of learning have begun putting together some policies to guide teaching, to guide learning, and also to guide research. But the AI terrain is very complex to understand that it's not very easy to say that you can do ABCD, you cannot do ABCD. For example, we can't tell students that do not use any of the AI tools for research or not to use for research. And if they have to be permitted to even use it for research, to what extent can they use it, or to what extent can they not use it? So then it becomes very important to begin thinking around issues of ethics, which is very vital, which is very crucial, because if we do not check the ethical use of AI, then of course we are going to land ourselves in many, many, many issues. Those of us in academia who publish, this rigorous academic papers, if you have to send any paper anywhere today, you need to declare the use of AI in your academic work and to what extent you have used it. What did you just use it for? Writing, doing literature search, doing what, even for grammar checks. You need to declare it. Unlike a few years back that those things were not a premium to the publication industry. But today, we need to do that. And it's not just in academia, in industry as well. People write reports. Quite recently, one of the giants in the field was tasked to conduct a research. And, it turned out that their research report was AI generated. Though they did it, but they fed their studies and outcomes to AI, which reported in a certain manner, because there are some biases here and there. So this workshop or this webinar is very, very vital. It has come at a very right time that we in the education sector, we as educators, can begin thinking around some of these issues. I know the resource persons are going to bring out more issues, so I will not take the seal out of their the wind out of their mouth. I will just pause here and say that you are all welcome. On behalf of Commonwealth, the timing will not permit them to be here because as we are having it, it's around 2 a.m. To our funders. But I believe that we are going to have a very good conversation. But note that whatever we are going to discuss here is going to inform policy. It's going to inform the way we have to use AI in Ghana. It's going to inform how educators must use AI, how students must use AI, and then how pre-service teachers must also carry it on as they move along. So thank you very much, Kingsley, for moderating this, and we appreciate all of you for coming, and all the best to you in this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dumet, for the brief remark. I must say that on call we have representatives from various agencies, NACA, CENDLOS, from the MOE, Secretary, CPM. We have representatives from different institutions that are appropriate and to them. But because we want to have more time to delve into the topic of this question, so I would like to bring the resource person to play on. This resource person is an accomplished academic and a researcher with the field of computer science, but digital systems. His work integrates education, research, and practical implementation, and has contributed to the effective linkage between academia, policy, and the industry. And our research person is in the person of Professor Bukari Abdul Aziz. And as this presentation goes on, if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat box. And at the appropriate time, give opportunity for him to ask the question. So, Prof, if you're around, what is it? Professor Aziz?
No, there was no space like that.
Professor Bukari?
Hello, Kingsley. Your line is not that smooth. You've been breaking up. I don't know if I'm the only one who gets it.
Prof. Aziz, we can't hear. Prof. Aziz, we are not hearing. We can't hear you. Am I the only one not hearing Prof. Aziz?
Yes, I'm also not hearing.
I think we are all not hearing because I can also not hear.
Yeah. If Prof, please, if you can change your mic inputs, if you can change that one, I think it's well, because I can see that you have unmuted yourself, but we can't hear you. If you can hear us.
Prof, we can't hear you. Hello, Prof. We can see your lips moving, but we can't hear a word.
But we can't hear a word.
Maybe, Prof, you can close it and join the page again. Probably we can hear you this time.
Yes.
If you can close and rejoin. So as we wait for Prof to join us, as I indicated, we have a host of dignitaries and officers from various agencies of the ministry with us. So we have Madam.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me now, please?
Yes, we can hear you, Prof.
Okay.
Please,
I think something was wrong somewhere.
Yes, we can hear you now.
All right. So let me share my screen. Good morning to you all, and sincere apologies for that technical hitch. All right. I hope you can all see my slides.
Yes,
Prof. We can see.
All right. So once again, let me also welcome all of you on board. And we are talking about integration of generative AI in teacher education. This is the first webinar. We'll have some other two coming later on. And there will just be some kind of build up on this current one we're about to go through today. this webinar will focus on strengthening, like the executive director and our prof has said.
Hello, Prof.
Yes.
Can you put it to slideshow for us? It seems
it's on
not
slideshow.
No.
It's on slideshow at my end.
So you need to swap it. I think we are seeing the normal slide view, and you are seeing the slideshow. So you need to swap for us to see.
All right. So let me do that.
Yeah. I think at the top right corner somewhere you can see. Swap.
Have you seen it now? Is it clear now?
Not yet. So are you using double screens?
No.
One.
Yes. Let me do this. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we can see the screen, but it's not in the slideshow.
It's not in the slideshow. Okay, let me do this.
Yes.
Okay, can you see that now?
No, please.
You can't see
still
that.
No. Okay. Okay, I think it's okay. It's okay now. It's okay.
It's fine now.
It was fine, but now it went back. It was fine, yeah.
Okay. Is it okay?
Let's give it a few minutes. Maybe it's buffering for us.
Okay, let me do this. Okay, so what do you see now? Is it in the presentation mode?
No.
Not yet.
Wow, let me see something.
You did it a while ago, so
yes, I just want to. I think I have. Still.
No.
Trying to. I want some.
Okay, it's okay. What you've done is okay now. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I think I have some few technical hitches at my end here. It's gone back again.
Yes, it's gone back again.
I should have tried this.
Ali, is it possible? Do you have prof presentation? Then maybe we can.
Yes, I'm just trying to.
Yes, I do. So if prof
so
permit, I could share
for me. I think I have some technical hitches here. My machine is not too stable. Okay. Please share from your end for me.
Okay. Let me share it right now.
Share from your end for me.
Okay.
Okay, so you can go ahead and share from your side and I'll say something.
Okay. Few moments. Okay. Is that you understand? Can we see my slide?
Yes. So that's fine.
Yes.
So like I was saying before, so this particular webinar is on the integration of generative AI in teacher education. And like I said, there will be 3 of this webinar. Today is just for us to look at the literacy part of it. And then we'll look at, can you move to the next slide? Yes, so we'll focus on strengthening teachers' understanding of generative AI. Specifically, we'll look at a deeper understanding of what we mean by generative AI. We'll look at opportunities that comes with it for us educators. And then we'll also look at the... Oh, you can move on. I mean, yes, you can move on. Hello?
Yes, I've already moved on. I think you're speaking on the ethical issues, risk and responsibility.
No, I'm not even seeing what...
We are not saying,
I'm not seeing where you are at.
I'm
We are
still
seeing opportunities.
Oh, wow.
So I believe there's... Okay, let me reshare from my end and see something, please. Let me reshare from my end.
Okay.
I believe there's some kind of technical issue. So please, what can you see now? It's in the presentation mode.
You.
It's in the presentation mode now.
No, it's not.
It's not.
No.
It's not.
So let me... Just a second. Let me... Wow. Okay.
So now let's start the stuff from the beginning.
I'm even surprised why it's not getting to the... So what can you see from your ends, please, if I may ask?
It's a thumbnail of the slide. It has been thumbnailed on the PPT. Yes.
Okay. So what can you see now?
Now it has come out as a slide, but with a list, and it's not in the slideshow mode. Okay.
So maybe we will have to, like I said, I am beginning to feel there's a little... Okay, so what of this?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
So
now
it's now
okay. It's okay.
It's okay now. It's okay now.
Okay, that's fine. All right. So we'll be talking about AI literacy, like I said before. Specifically, we'll look at a deeper understanding of what we mean by generative AI. We'll look at opportunities it offers for us educators. We'll also look at some ethical issues, some risk. I'm using some because it cannot be exhaustive. And then how to responsibly use generative AI. We'll look at that. Then we'll look at our role as teachers and educators in guiding the use of generative AI. I intend to end it with a brief practical presentation. So hopefully I'm praying time shall allow me to do that so that we have a brief hands-on on some of the things we'll be discussing. Now, this is the question here for us. How many of us have already encountered learners frequently using AI in our classrooms? You give them assignments, you give them class tests, exams, and they are busily using AI to try to beat our minds to get better scores. Sometimes they even will do it better than we ourselves even understand. I'm sure a lot of us will have so much to say on this. Whether we are ready for it or not, AI, generative, has entered our classrooms, our lesson planning, and even our assessments. It's now with us. So for the issue is not about whether it will shape education. It's already with us. So whether we teachers will lead the change in adapting AI or will be forced to react to it, I'm not sure we want to do that. So the purpose for the webinar is to see how we teachers, we educators can lead that change so that we have a productive use of generative AI in teaching and learning. I must also let you know what this webinar is and is not. It's just about AI literacy. We are not going to teach you how to program, or we are not going to teach you things that will replace your professional judgment as educators or teachers. No. We will rather help you to understand what AI is, what it can and cannot do, and how to engage with it ethically, confidently, and intelligently as an educator. That is what the purpose of this webinar is about. So if you had joined with the mindset of developing an AI tool, and no, that's not the purpose for this one. We just want to let you understand what it is, especially for this first webinar. The others will build on that. I cannot proceed without letting you know what we mean by AI. I'm sure a lot of you know that already, but I just have to mention that here. AI is a field of computing that focuses on creating systems or machines that can perform tasks which normally require human intelligence. The tasks include pattern recognition, language processing, decision support, content generation, image and speech recognition. So you will see that all these things I have listed, humans can also try to do them. So why do we rely on AI? That's the question. Because AI works at speed and scale beyond the ordinary human limit. It can process thousands of pages in seconds, analyze large data sets instantly, and even generate multiple drafts at once. So because of this, we will a lot will prefer to rely on it rather than doing it themselves. And that is what we are coming to look at. AI handles routine, like the executive director mentioned, routine tasks without fatigue, freeing humans for judgment and creativity. I have prepared my lesson notes. I've noticed I need to have it in some kind of other languages for my target groups. Why do I have to waste time to see how I can translate it on my own and all that? No, we have some AI tools. You submit in a particular language and then you have it translated for you in a way. But of course, we are going to look at how do we even handle what is given to you by AI, especially when it is not perfect. We'll look at that. But some kind of routine tasks, it is very easy to fall on AI. And AI does it without fatigue, so errors are very minimal. And then AI supports decision making. So while we humans will be free to provide meaning and values to those particular values. So I am still on that particular slide, and then I will want to say here that we are following on AI more often because of these reasons. But AI is just a support tool, efficient and fast, while we educators will remain the source of judgment, context, and values. I am hoping when we touch on the bit of the practical aspects, we will actually understand what we're talking about here more. Yes, we have types of AI. In fact, there are different types. The traditional AI and the generative AI. This workshop is on generative AI. Traditional AI have developed a system to predict. Okay, let's all look at our email, the email system. Of course, we all have emails, Google, Gmail, and all that. We have the spam, and then we have the genuine mails. The genuine ones. So AI comes in there. Who determines whether this is supposed to be spam or not? And remember, sometimes it can push a mail to the spam when the mail is supposed to be genuine, and the other way around. That tells you AI is not perfect. There was a mail I was busy looking for. In fact, somebody sent and told me, I checked, I wasn't seeing the mail, not knowing that genuine mail from a genuine person. But this mail was captured under spam. So it tells us that AI is not perfect, but it is largely better, because most of the time you notice this in just once in a while. You just notice them. It's not frequent. Our focus is not on traditional AI, developing systems to predict, to classify, like I'm just talking about this email thing. No. We are going to rather focus on generative AI. AI that creates new content. Is it text, image, or audio? This can be created with AI. So this comes under what we call generative AI. So my focus will be on generative AI. Now, as I said before, it generates new content, and I'll be giving my examples in relation to our profession, because AI is everywhere, in the health sector, in engineering, wherever, but we are in the classroom. So most of my examples will be, all my examples, in a way, will be coming from that. So we can use generative AI to summarize information in original wording. We can use it to create examples, activities, assessments. We can even respond, it can even respond creatively to prompts. As I am presenting, we are not too interested in showcasing a particular AI tool here. That will not be too fair, but we will fall on those we are already used to. So, and one that comes to mind right now is ChatGPT. Like I said, I am not in any way trying to promote ChatGPT, but it is very clear that that is what most of us already are using in our work. So you understand, so you can see how it responds creatively to prompts. You give it a prompt, and then you don't just get what you want. After getting what you want, it tries to even give you more suggestions to get more and all that. But like I said before, are we to trust all that is given to us by that? And how do we rather use it as a supporting tool rather than something we are falling entirely on for our work? No. I must at this point mention, it's not only ChatGPT. We have others like, the chat-based tools. We're talking about ChatGPT, Google, Gemini, Claude, and all that. In fact, they are all chat-based tools. So the same way you use ChatGPT, you could actually use these other tools for that. They accept questions in natural language. They accept questions in natural language and then receive explanations or lesson drafts. So if you want to chat or to have a communication with any of these tools, whether ChatGPT or Claude and all that, I will try to demonstrate some of them briefly, like I said before, though more on that will be discussed in the next webinar. So the key word here is natural language. Natural language. Just chat with it like the way you talk to your fellow human being. and then it will respond to you creatively and all that. We also have some others, for some other AI tools that teachers can use. Those are grouped under image generators. So we have the DALL-E, Canva AI, PowerPoint, Copilot, and all that, Midjourney. These all are can also be categorized under image generators. And very soon I will let you understand that when you want to be, if you want to be a good teacher, if you want to deliver to your students in a way they will actually understand you, let's not be shy of using these tools. It's just a matter of how we use them. And that is part of this particular workshop, for training rather. So these tools I've mentioned here, they create visual learning aids, which are specifically useful for especially some technical subjects and all that, where you need to illustrate with a diagram or a chart just to throw more light on whatever you are doing. So these particular tools can be used for that particular purpose. We also have Cleon's, Perplexity, and all that. So these ones too are able to help summarize content and prepare assessment. So they are also under text tools. So you see that ChatGPT is actually appearing there again. We also have translation tools, Google Translate, Microsoft Translator. These support multilingual classroom and comprehension. So like I said before, you are a teacher and you are handling your students' different languages and all that, and you want to have that broader target as a teacher. What do? These tools, this particular translation tools can help you. So at this point, I want to say that we are not just going to pick a particular tool and master it. As a teacher, how do you even combine these tools to come out with a good material for your students or a good presentation for your students? So some of us are just stuck to ChatGPT or the others, just one. You master it and you are on it. Any question or anything you want to do, you push it there, and then you get your response. You copy and paste, and then that is it. Even the editing we don't even do. So let's be used to putting the tools together. You do one with this, you take it to the other level with the other tool, because they all have what they can do best. So as I move along, when I go to the practical part, I will demonstrate that a bit for us to see that each of these tools, they are all AI-powered tools, and they all have what they do best. So use them for what they are actually meant for, and use them very well. The demonstration will clear some of the issues on this. Like I said before, this is just a summary of how to use multiple tools. But when I go to the practical session, I'll try and demonstrate that. So let's assume I'm a teacher teaching, let's say, biology, or let's say computer studies, and I want to use AI tools to support me. No, I shouldn't be shy. I shouldn't be shy because it has come to stay. If you will not use it to enhance your work, others will use it and become better than you. It's the ethical use we are emphasizing here. So I will generate some drafts. So maybe I'll use ChatGPT. It can help me to draft some lesson outline and some worksheets, some small assessment. But I don't take it and just give to my students. No. Won't you do some fact checking? You would have to. So we have some other AI tools. Those ones are meant for fact checking, like the Perplexity. That one even comes now. So that means if you use ChatGPT to generate a lesson plan, let's assume a lesson plan, what you can do is that you can actually copy that. Maybe not entirely. You can copy it in bits, and then you send it to Perplexity. I'll demonstrate that for you to see. Perplexity is actually, in fact, also an AI tool, but that one will verify the accuracy of what you are given to it, and will even go online web to see whether it can confirm some of the what, in fact, what you are given to it, and if possibly, try to even give you sources to what you are suggesting. That is one thing ChatGPT cannot handle as well as the way Perplexity can handle that, because it goes online, verify all that you are given to it, and then will even give you links, I mean the web addresses, to let you know that this thing you have given to me to confirm it is wrong. This is correct, and will convince you why it is wrong with sources attached to it. So I will never use ChatGPT alone without, if I want to go fully AI, if I use ChatGPT or Claude or whatever to draft my lesson outline and worksheet, I will as well use tools like Perplexity and the others, because those ones are for fact checking with sources, not just telling you it's wrong or right. It will give you sources. When I'm done, then that means at that level, I can even get some of the information off once I'm convinced by Perplexity that this is not right and this is right. I can get some of the things off, especially those that I'm also convinced. Of course, in fact, the teacher, your expertise also comes to bear there. Then I can also use some kind of visuals, right? ChatGPT cannot give you good visuals like the way Canva AI will give you the visuals. So what I'll do is I'll use my ChatGPT, I draft my lesson plan, I design my worksheet, my assessment sheet, I use Perplexity, help me verify the accuracy of what I'm getting from ChatGPT. When I'm done, I then will use Canva AI to say, okay, this is what I have done. Can you help me with visuals to support it? But of course, in all these, your judgment as a teacher also matters. Whatever they give you, whether it's ChatGPT, it's Perplexity, it is Canva AI, you owe it a duty to fact check yourself. Is that what you have been taught? Is that what you know? Is that what you have heard? Also just verify to complement the effort. I mean, so that these tools becomes something like complementing your efforts rather than solely rely on them. Then when you are done with all these, you will have to now put everything together. The diagrams, what you have gotten from ChatGPT or Claude, what you have gotten from Perplexity and Canva AI, you will need to now put everything together so that you can present to your listeners, or you can have it given to whoever you want to give it to. So that is where we have other AI tools like Microsoft Copilot. So that can actually help you to compile everything into a polished document, whether Word or PowerPoint. So then it becomes a resource. In fact, not just a resource that has gone through steps with confirmations and verifications and fact checking and all that. So this is just an outline, maybe just an example of how you can use AI effectively as a teacher. So let's not just stick to one tool. I'm using this, that's what I'm used to. When it gives me anything, I'm gone. That will not be fair to our learners. That being said, I must also let you understand that AI, I mean, generative AI has some limitations. It can be perfect. Even those who use ChatGPT, just open ChatGPT and read under, just below the search box. It's written there. It is not 100%. It is clear. So, but let's also understand that it is largely correct. The other little part that is not correct, or that usually will not be correct, that is why you will have to come in as a professional to see whether you can correct it or to even correct it before it gets to your students. AI can explain a topic correctly, but may fail to appropriately adjust the explanation to the learner's level of classroom. So sometimes it also comes to the way we do our interaction with these particular tools. If I just come and say, give me lecture slides for my students on what you mean by photosynthesis, I'm not even clear as to the level, as to the detail, even the students I'm handling, are there any special considerations I have to look at? Please, we don't usually do that. So we give our instructions in that broad format, and it really cannot handle them. So the first point, I'm not going to be too focused on that because sometimes it depends on how we also interact with it. If you give it more specifics, it will try very well to give you those specifics also, so that you can have good, your material done very well for you. But of course, let's also understand that it can produce incorrect or misleading content, hallucinations. AI can give a confident answer. Look, sometimes I chat with it and it gives me an answer and I just want to push it small. And I say, check your answer. It is not correct. Sometimes if you're not even careful, it will change the answer to another wrong answer. Meanwhile, the first one was correct. You can try it and see sometimes. You will give it the prompt. Define this for me. It does that. Then you intentionally, you know it's correct, but then intentionally tell it that push it small and try to convince it that what it did is wrong. You'll be shocked that AI can change the answer for you, just for you to feel fine. So let's be very careful. Even without that, even without what I'm saying, it's very clear, and I'm sure we've all experienced it. If you are the type who just generate and post or send, you will embarrass yourself one day so much. And like Prof mentioned, we are in academia, we publish papers all the time. And sometimes, if you are not careful, the kind of comments that will come with your papers and all that it's not fine at all. AI cannot replace teacher judgment, not at all. So if you look at the slide I gave before, so we are saying that AI can suggest activities, but only the teacher can decide what is suitable for a specific class. It's a fact. It's only the teacher who can decide what is suitable for a particular class. Why? Because it lacks moral and cultural awareness. Sometimes it generates examples or language that are culturally inappropriate or insensitive without realizing it. It's a fact. But like I said, all these ones, we call them limitations. They are not problems, they are limitations. Because they also largely depends on how you, the teacher, interact with it. If you give it more facts for it to be cultural aware and to have that morality somehow, trust me, it will embed that in its answers. But we can look at them as just some general limitations, especially when we have so many users with different level of expertise in their subject areas and also in IT, interacting with it. Okay, so why is AI literacy, why does it matter to teachers or for teachers? Yes, it will actually teach us how to, we at least, so we'll be able to guide our students to use AI well. Because uninformed use can lead to misuse. Yes, it's a fact. Literacy empowers control, not fear. Like I said before, I have a friend who just says that, look, as for me, AI out. I will not use AI. Right. So we don't want that. We don't want that kind of fear. We rather want some kind of empowerment so that you know that no, this is not something I should run away from, but something I should be able to use it well. So that is why we are doing it. Now, if you look at our typical classrooms, I went back to my old school, in fact, my junior high school. When we were just around 40 in a class, I was shocked to see more than 80 students in the classroom. Even our senior high schools, go there and see the numbers, especially with this free senior high. So the numbers are there. So large class sizes, the resources are not also adequate. Learning resources are not even too available. In fact, they're also inadequate. And the students, of course, and even access to technology among students and schools. So you want to use IT and you are handicapped because the access, in fact, even the students themselves, what is the level of access to technology? And then, like I talked about the class size, it leads to serious workload on us as teachers, high demands. These days, I am not too comfortable giving assignment to, there's one class I'm teaching here, and I have over 300 students in the class. It's a combined class. So anytime I want to give them a class test, I'm not so happy because I'm looking at the time I'm going to spend to mark all that. So sometimes we resort to multiple choice questions because we feel that can be marked very easily and faster. And then remember, multiple choice questions are not too fine, especially in certain contexts. You may want to also test their ability in the theory and others. But look at the workload. How can you use AI? So all these issues I've mentioned here, they are just things telling us that we cannot just stick to the old way of doing things without AI. So these realities confirm why AI matters. It's not a luxury, but as a practical support tool that can ease pressure, extend our resources, our limited resources, and also help us, teachers and educators, cope with real classroom constraints. So that is the point I want to make here. All right, so some key concerns. Academic dishonesty, over-reliance, bias in AI-generated content, and then misinformation. I've talked about this. We all will say that, okay, so like me, I've stopped giving my students assignment. You do and come and submit to me. I've stopped that in a long time, especially when generative AI has become very common in our classrooms. If I want to give them assignments, then they must be ready to present their work to me in a way. So there's no way I will come and say, this is assignment, go and do and submit. Because they will go use the generative AI tools, generate the work. Though sometimes, even as an academician, I will talk about how we can detect some of these things. I'll mention some few things on that. So as a teacher, when you give students work and they go using generative AI, can you detect that this is really generative AI? Can you? Sometimes, even in our exams hall, end of semester examinations, they come out, they give us the scripts to mark. You pick the script. You pick the script.
I'm very fair, and I'm
You
telling
pick the
you that
script.
this is what the man said. You know, I've exhausted what is on me.
Hello? Okay, so you pick the script to mark, and you yourself just know that this is an AI-generated work. You know it. Because some of them will go to the exams hall with this particular mobile phones and other tools. So one day I picked a particular script to mark, and it was clear that it was AI. Per my expertise, I saw an AI-generated text. It was perfect. But the question is, the person was not caught in the examinations hall. So what showed that it's, in fact, the person really went with an AI tool to do the work for me. Sometimes that's where we are caught in between. So you see the work, and then you suspect this is an AI generated work as a teacher. How do you handle that? Or how do you even confirm? What are the pointers to saying that this is an AI, this is likely 99% chance that it is AI. These are things I will mention here. But let's also be careful that we have some data privacy issues, especially our people who don't believe in in IT, especially when it comes to data privacy. They just feel like, no, I still want the traditional way of doing things. So these are the key concerns we need to be looking at. And sometimes they are right, because you go in there and before you notice, it is, if you don't adapt it well, it's even better you did not even do it. So if I sit down and then I use my head to come out with, my own brains to come out with a learning material, which is original from me, I never resorted to any AI. No matter how bad it is, I'll be more comfortable than using AI to generate a document. It is out there published, and then one day I am told this is actually AI. The embarrassment that comes with that. So sometimes people just feel like, no, let me stay away. I just feel that this is not appropriate. But we'll look at how to handle that. Ethical issues teachers must consider, like I said, accuracy and verification, fairness and bias, transparency with students, protection of learner data, responsible assessment practices. And then, now on this particular point, slide, what I can say is that sometimes we as teachers, I was in a classroom and then a teacher was making a presentation. It was a presentation we're supposed to do, and then it was his turn. He opened AI on one particular tab. And then when he projected, the whole thing was on the AI, and he quickly closed it. Like he quickly closed it, like trying to hide the fact that he's using AI. ChatGPT. No, it's not a crime, and it's not shameful to use it. So when we finished, I called him, and then he wanted to make it look like, oh, if the students get to know he's using it, it's got some kind of embarrassment, like they would think that's why he's falling on. No, I said no. Even sometimes I'll use it, and I even tell the students that this is my source. There's nothing wrong with it. So please, transparency with the students matter. Let's be very clear with them, especially when we use it. It depends on how you do it anyway. Protection of learner data, responsible assessment practices, and all that. And then the first one, very, very important, accuracy and verification. And I'm sure when I was presenting the tools to you, I talked about that. The tool I mentioned that actually verifies whatever you do. You get from other AI tools. You can use it to verify. So that is on top, accuracy and verification. This shows that ethical use is not abstract. It is embedded in everyday teaching decisions. It's very clear. Now, at this point, let me present to you a model. A model I think we should all adopt and then see how that can help us in our work. We call it the VCE model. It's a teacher-centered AI framework, use framework. The V, verify all outputs. The teacher checks AI-generated content to confirm facts, correct errors, and ensure alignment with syllabus. Contextualize whatever you are doing for the learners. Adapt AI content to suit students' level, language ability, and local classroom realities. Then the last one is very important to me, evaluate pedagogical value. The teacher decides whether the content you have gotten genuinely supports learning objectives or merely adding content. So please, for me, I've mentioned some few things on these points, even from the beginning, because verification, contextualizing whatever you have gotten for your learners, and then trying to even evaluate the value it is adding to your learners. I'm sure this is the best direction for us to be looking at as teachers. So the role of the teacher, I want to put all that together. Please, AI does not replace us as teachers. We are still the designer of the learning materials. we are supposed to also act as ethical gatekeepers and also critical evaluators, and rather see the AI as support, so that we will actually remain the professionals in charge of learning, values, and judgment. How do you, as a teacher, because we interact with students every day, even during vacations, we are with them, no time to rest. You give them work, they do and submit, whether online or physically. How do you even know that whatever they are giving to you as a teacher is appropriate or not, especially with the use of AI? Yes, I usually will compare that to whatever they are giving me in class, not just in class, in a well-supervised classwork. I do that. Sometimes I give my students assignment, they bring it. And then I'll just modify the question somehow. In fact, not the same questions anyway. I'll just will look at similar questions and rather let them take it in the classroom under a well-supervised condition. And you'll be shocked to see that a lot of them just copy and paste without even knowing what they are submitting to you. Now, like I said, and I also will ask you for some kind of oral explanations. Tell me what you have gotten. Present to me. Let me see what you have done. Convince me that you did it. And then also talk about, you can look for some common AI signals. Some common AI signals, right? You can look for some common AI signals. So what are the signals? What are the signals we can look for to be able to confirm that this is likely to be AI generated? Overly polished language, generic tone, vague or repetitive explanations, inconsistent style with within the same document. For me, when I begin seeing this, I begin to raise some kind of red flags with whatever I am marking. So I just need to confirm from the student, and I have a way of doing it. Like I said, oral explanations, you will let them do it independently with proper supervision for you to be sure that they are actually right. And then you can also use some AI detection tools. If you come to, like Prof said, if you come to, in fact, to the tertiary sector, or in fact, the tertiary education sector, most of the institutions will have licensed softwares for detecting AI, whether a document is AI generated or not. It will tell you the level of AI in the work, and will even pinpoint to you where the AI is actually detected. It will highlight the document for you to see. So you look at it. So as a teacher, I believe that maybe Prof talked about some kind of, in fact, a national policy. I think we need to have that across all our educational system for all teachers. In fact, every teacher should have access to those tools, especially when we assess students and then we must validate their work. It should factor in that if I have access to this particular AI detection tools, anytime I have an assessment done by my students, I will have the chance, even if I cannot see that with my naked eyes. Of course, not everybody can see that. You will have a way to pass it through the software. So a software can also help you to detect that this is not genuine. It is AI generated. Now, the goal of all this is not to punish the student, please. Sometimes my students even come here with their project work, and I tell them that I must pass it through AI. They are like, but you are, it's like, in fact, they look at it as punishment, because I pass it through is 90% plus AI. I'll tell them, go back and look at it. If it doesn't come down to a particular value, I will not look at it. They usually, from their points, will see it as punishment because they want to graduate they want to go through easily or quickly. But from my ends, as a supervisor, as a teacher, I am focused on a document I'll be signing on as a supervisor that will be genuine, that will be original, and that will have value. So that anywhere the document goes to, they see my name on it, I'm fine, right? I am fine with it. So please, we are not punishing the students when we subject their work critically to this particular things, just to confirm whether they are AI or not. We are just trying to help them to learn how to use AI ethically and responsibly. One day, a student was on me because the deadline for submission was just about 3 days to go. And he wanted me to sacrifice this AI thing so that he could submit. I said, no, it's not possible. So sometimes we have to bear the bad name for the right things to be done as teachers. I'm sure we all have that experience. Now, at this point, I would want to, before we look at the conclusion session, I would want to do a little practical session. To have a little practical session with you so that I'll put all that I have said, a lot of them, in a particular context so that we can have it clearly done. So I want to do that with a topic. I'm sure this is a topic from the upper primary or junior high. Please, even if you are a teacher in the tertiary and you join, there's nothing wrong with using this topic to explain, especially we just want the concepts, not really the specific examples I'm using. So I want to teach my students water cycle. So step 1, I will get a draft from ChatGPT. So I can give ChatGPT, and let me repeat, please, I'm not promoting ChatGPT or any tool. We just want to use those you are already familiar with. So I can give ChatGPT a prompt. Create a simple lesson outline and a short worksheet, that means assessment sheet, on the water cycle for junior high school 1 students. In that case, I'm being specific. I've mentioned to it the level I want. I'm specific. I said junior high school 1 students. I didn't just say create a simple lesson outline for my students. No. So what ChatGPT will do is that it will cut it down to that level. So I'm likely to get some lesson objectives, brief explanation of evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and all that. It will give me those things. And then it will also give me some kind of questions, maybe some 5 or 6 or 7 questions for the students, because that is what I asked for from it. And I'm sure we have been doing this, just that some of us don't limit it to some specific level. So we give general for the statement. So ChatGPT to bring the information out that way. Now, in less than 30 minutes, I have a first draft, just less than 30 seconds. But let's be frank, this cannot be our teaching material. No, it can't be our teaching resource. If I send this to students, I'm not fair. I am being a very bad teacher or educator. So it's just a raw material you have gotten from ChatGPT. Raw. The word raw underlined. It's just a draft. So what I'll do is that I can go to step 2. In step 2, I will verify with Perplexity. Now, remember, Perplexity is an AI-powered research tool designed to find, verify, not just verify it, and also cite information from the web to support whatever you are given to it. It shows where your answers come from and helps you reduce hallucinations and from your tools you have used. So if I use ChatGPT to generate my text, or I use any other tool, Claude and all that, I just want a way to verify. So please, Perplexity is one tool that can do this. I am sure in the second webinar, in the webinar 2, you will do more on this particular tool. In fact, you will have more practical lessons, I believe so. But the bottom line is that I just want to give you this brief so that you'll be able to carry it on to the second webinar. So now, I can take one paragraph from whatever I have gotten from my ChatGPT. Example, the definition of evaporation. So I'll just go to the one, what I've gotten from ChatGPT. I'll copy part of it. Please don't do it in bulk so that Perplexity can take time to analyze what you are given to it very well. So just give it something brief, maybe just one paragraph, and then you paste it in Perplexity. When you paste, you can even follow that with a question. Is this explanation of evaporation scientifically accurate for GenAI level? Yes. Ask it to verify. What Perplexity will do is that it will confirm the facts. It will also correct some errors. And if possibly, try to see whether it can simplify the wording and all that. It has that capability. Now, and these tools, you don't need to pay for them. Most of them are open source tools. I just logged on to some of them. But you can get the full benefits if you subscribe. In that case, you have to pay something. But as teachers, even if we are constrained financially, you should be able to log in. I mean, just sign up with your Gmail account or any other account, and then you will have the free version of it to use. Even ChatGPT, we all use. What most people are using is just the free version. If you want to see more of it, if you want to see the full capability of ChatGPT, then you need to subscribe. Right. I am currently on one and I pay monthly. It's just about some 60 cedis a month. You have to pay. In fact, that's not even for the highest one. In fact, then I have it done. So please, all the tools I am talking about here, you necessarily don't need so much to pay for them. And like I said, even if you cannot pay, you can just log in with your account and then you will have it to use. Of course, with some kind of some few restrictions placed on it. Now, when I give this to Perplexity, it will confirm, it will correct, and even simplify to suit that particular level. If it thinks ChatGPT did not actually do it well, especially per the level, it will actually resimplify. Let me be clear with you here. Perplexity is not, Perplexity itself is not too ideal for those particular searches, but use them rather as verification tools that will complement the efforts of our generative tools like ChatGPT. Now look at the notes down the slide. This is where the teacher protects the accuracy. I've said this before. Now, we can then generate some visuals with Canva AI. Step 1, I used my ChatGPT to get my information. Step 2, I used Perplexity to correct the errors I may have gotten from ChatGPT, fine-tune the text and all that per the level I have actually indicated. And then now, when my student needs some visuals to add, remember, we're talking about water cycle. It's not good we have some diagram to show how the water cycle is. So please, Canva is an AI-powered tool for creating visual teaching materials. It turns text into slides, posters, diagrams, and infographics and all that. You don't need to be an advanced AI, graphic person. No. Sometimes we want to draw, but we can't draw. If as teachers, sometimes you have a concept. Okay, I know what the water cycle is. I can explain it to my student, but I cannot draw. In fact, I'm not good in drawing. Leave it to Canva AI. But when it generates, try to confirm whatever is coming from it so that you'll be able to give it to your students. So Canva AI can give you the label diagram, the sun, the clouds, the rain, the rivers, and all that in a very nice way. Then what used to take 30 minutes of drawing now in less than 1 minute. But please confirm. And one thing I like about these tools are that when it gives you the content, even the Canva AI, if it gives you the visual, there's a button down you can click and raise some issues with the diagram. Okay, I think where the water passes from this to this, check it well. It's like it's not appropriate. Can you redraw and bring the line from this to this? You have the chance as a teacher to tell it what you want. We must not just get everything from it, and that is the fact. No. So please, when you use these tools, they give you whatever they have. You can interact and tell it how to fine-tune it. I can tell, okay, there's an arrow from the clouds to this. Can you turn the arrow back to this? It can do that for you. Right, so that to suit whatever you are actually trying to do. That is very easy to do. The final stage, all that I have done, remember we are on the water cycle in our practical test, session. You will have to then package the document or the work. You can use a Copilot to package. What is Copilot? It is also an AI assistant built into Word now has it, PowerPoint, Excel, Outlook, and you can also go for the online version of it. It helps you to draft, summarize, format, and organize your document. So I can just copy all that I have done. Then I'll go to Copilot and say, turn this into one slide PowerPoint lesson with the title, key points, and the diagram. You will have it. I have done that. So when you give it this, you will surely have it clearly down for you. So 4 tools have been used here, and all in the name of adding value to what we give to our students. So please, let's take it from here. Now, an important note from all that I have given to you in the practical session, it tells us that AI did not teach, AI did not decide the level, AI did not know my students, I did. AI only helped me as a teacher to do my work. This is what will be done in more detail in webinar 2. So please, this is just a teaser. In webinar 2, you will learn how to co-create learning resources, or let's say teaching resources, step by step. In summary, generative AI acts as a creative collaborator, not just an information set tool. Let's be careful. It helps with brainstorming ideas and generating alternatives. It helps us to draft versions of content quickly. Like I said, sometimes you go to ChatGPT and key in a question. It will give you several responses and say, choose the one you want. You will then read and decide to say, okay, this one best fits what I want. Then you go for that one. Then it sticks to that one. Human beings, to do this, that wouldn't be easy for us. But like I said, the ethical use of it is what matters. We also learned that it's able to automate tasks which are repetitive. And then it can sometimes hallucinate. producing convincing but incorrect information. And this is something we need to seriously look at. It may reflect biases because sometimes, these are AI tools and most of them are trained on certain data sets and all that. So when there are some biases in the data used to train the models, they may also behave. In fact, they may reflect those particular biases in the training data. So this is something we need to be very cautious about. And that is why as an educator or as a teacher, never should you give any material to your students without confirming whether it is biased, whether it has this or not. You have to do that. Best used to augment human intelligence and not to replace it. We have learned that. And that has actually, this brings my presentation to a closure. But of course, I think certain issues have come on board during my presentation, and I would want us to brainstorm over it together. So these are some questions for us to brainstorm together on. And I think we need to do that together. And I will want to start from the fourth point. I will come up. There's a reason why I'm doing this. So what practical classroom applications can we imagine with using our AI, our generative AI? Please, I have thrown a question for us to discuss. I have my answers, but I want to listen to participants. With all that I have presented, right from the definition of AI to the practical session, on how we can use AI to enhance our teaching, can we discuss, or can you tell me some kind of classroom applications where we can think of using generative AI? All right. So please, it is open. Let's discuss. I'm still on board. Let's share some experience with this one.
Okay, Prof, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation, and we appreciate the insights you have shared on generative AI, helping us to understand what it means, the opportunities for educators, the ethical issues, and also the role of teachers in using it. But before we do the discussion, I would like to open the floor to take some bit of questions. Then we look at the aspect of the discussion. So if you have a question, just put up your hand, and I will call you out to ask your question. So if you have any questions, just put up your hand, and we can address it. Okay, Prof, kindly go ahead with your question.
Sure, thank you. So thank you, Prof, for the insights, and thank you, Kingsley. So I just want to bring to attention that as we veer into the discussion mode like you have requested, we want to hear more into what we have to do. That's things related to more policy direction. We want to have some insight based on the understanding provided. If we have to put policies together, where are the indicators? So members can be looking at these things as they put on, their question and answers for us to have these insights also coming out clearly from the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
All right.
The floor is still open. Is there any question that we have? Anything that you want our resource persons to provide some clarity? Let's see by hand. If you don't know where the hand function is, you can also go ahead. Isaac, please go ahead with your question.
Isaac, unmute yourself and ask your question. Isaac Seki, I can see your hand up. Just unmute and ask your question, please. Isaac is not responding. Do you have anyone with a question, please? You can unmute yourself and ask your question if you have a question. Okay, so it looks like we are all okay with what Prof gave us in terms of the AI. So we would like to go to some of the questions there, and as teachers, we also want to take your input in it. So as we indicated, can you share with us the practical classroom applications that you can imagine using AI? Anyone can unmute him or herself and answer the question, please.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. Yes, kindly go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe as you have about some 40 or 50 minutes lesson, the AI can use to generate maybe a starter for you, or the main activity for the class, and equally the assessment for what the lesson that you did. I think the AI can do that for you.
Okay, thank you for the submission. Anyone to add anything to it in terms of classroom application?
Yes,
Hello.
Mr. Patti, I'm here. My name is Rose. Please, can you hear me?
Rose, I can hear you. Kindly go ahead.
Thank you. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for this very, very important topic that you are teaching us. It has enlightened me in many ways. One practical application I can think of is when you have to do a demonstration for students in your class and you don't have the resources. So I see AI giving us the opportunity to be able to show students to demonstrate, to do a demonstration class. If we have the right AI tool, we can do a good demonstration class wherever we are in the country. And at least students can see the processes that the demonstration can go through, or the materials, at least the materials that will be needed. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. Kojo, unmute yourself and ask your question or provide your submission.
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity. Thanks so much to Prof for this eye-opener. There's this new what we call subject-specific app now that we use in our secondary schools. And like Prof said, these are tools that can help you prepare your lesson plans. Those of us in the secondary school, that's what we use now. It allows you to prepare your lesson, review it, get your assessment question, marking scheme, and all that. So that's one way that I think these tools can help you perform your practical classroom applications. And it's working so well for all of us because it's making you active, making you know your class, and making you teach very well based on the type of students that you have. So that's what I'll say for now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Nicholas, unmute yourself and ask your question, please.
All right, thank you, Prof. I'm also a teacher in the secondary school level. I'm grateful for the insights Prof gave in the presentation. I want to say that in terms of practice, we those in the secondary school, we recently have the subject-specific app, which is AI embedded for each subject. The good thing about it is that it's able to help us set assessment according to the right depth of knowledge or DOK levels. But the challenge is that, AI, like Prof said, hasn't come to replace the teacher, and AI is not 100% accurate with the kind of feedback it provides. So when it comes to the assessment, the right DOK levels, sometimes it tells you that a particular question is for DOK level 2. But when you probe further, it tells you that, oh, it's actually a mistake. That question should have been for DOK level 3. So the challenge is most of our colleagues who are in the secondary school, even below secondary school, I mean teachers, most of us feel that whatever the AI brings is the best. So I was happy about what Prof said, that you, the teacher, must be up with your judgment. You must be up with the content knowledge as to what you're about, so that even if the AI brings something that you are not okay with, you should be able to question the AI to fine tune that. With the app that we have at the secondary school, it's able to enact or model the various activities from introduction to activity 1, activity 2, even up to the lesson closure. It helps to model what to do at the right time. And it's even able to contextualize your teaching to your level. So what the app may provide for me in terms of classroom practice at my school in the Volta region might be different, at Achimota school. Exactly. But content level appears to be the same. So as we do the advocacy, let's engage more teachers. Let them know that the AI is liable to mistakes, and you, the teacher, must up your game and cross-check all the facts, so that when the AI produces the result, you can, go ahead and fine-tune whatever it brings to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicola. So the key word is fact-checking and verification. Dr. Humphrey, let's hear from you.
Yeah, so good morning to all of you. And I want to say that Prof has really delivered the message. The AI can also be used to summarize textbooks and articles, where you can just upload a textbook onto an AI platform and you ask the AI to summarize whatever is in the book. So because you don't have time to read everything in the book, the platform is able to give you a cogent, summarization of the content. It can also be used to do same for articles. In fact, when you have a graph and you want to interpret the graph, you can even upload the graph onto the AI platform and then to interpret the graph for you. So I think it's a good thing, but the caution, here is that we should fact check. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Humphrey. Elijah, go ahead with your submission.
My actually a concern. I'm a teacher and also a student as well. Sometimes some lecturers will give you an assignment because of time factor, use AI to do it, and they will reject it. So I want to know why some of the lecturers do reject AI generated answers.
That's a good
Prof,
question.
can you respond to Elijah?
Yes. So, Mr. Elijah. Yes. So the issue is that
Yes,
when we give assignments, when teachers give assignments, I'm happy you're also a teacher. Sometimes we want to see that creativity part from the student. You see, just as the lecturer has the duty to produce learning materials which should be original in a way, or which should be very decent for you and not completely AI. We expect that when you also give us things to look at or to mark or to assess, it should also be something that I am not marking an AI, I'm marking a human being's work. You understand? If you give me AI and I mark it, or maybe I know it's AI and I'm assessing it, am I assessing the AI or am I assessing you, the student? So we are not saying AI should not be there. And when you check most of the, the high level institutions, we are not saying it should be 0% AI. We don't say that. They will usually peg it at, it depends on the institution. Some will say 20%, some will say 15%. It depends. So we are not saying entirely don't use AI, so that the 20% will cater for what you have left inside originally generated by AI. But largely, the 80% should be coming from you and your thoughts. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof, for the submission. Beatrice, I saw your hand up. Okay, if Beatrice is not there, let's take Martin.
Okay, hello.
Yes, Beatrice. Yes, welcome.
Okay, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, I wanted to add a little to what Madam Rose said. AI can be used especially when during role play and improvisation. Like we want students or learners to act out historical events. With the help of AI, they'll be able to do that. And also, when it comes to peer review sessions, they can review each other's work. Let's say they have their arts projects, they have their essays. It provides them with valuable feedbacks. And then others can also learn from it. So I think AI is really good and we can add it to the other resources we have in order to give out our best.
Okay, thank you for your submission. Martin, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Doc, for the presentation. This is very key to me. Please, I believe I can be heard.
Yes, well, with you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much. I really love it because recently I started asking myself certain questions on how best we can be able to integrate AI for the basic Ghanaian teacher in lesson planning, as in how they can be able to use AI to generate their lesson plan. So my question is it now the time for us to start having a conversation on how we can be able to reimagine AI in the classroom for lesson planning? And is the regulator going to accept it when a teacher generates his or a lesson plan using an AI?
Prof, can you give some perspective to this?
Yes, so that is fine. And like I said, the second webinar, webinar 2, will focus more on what you are talking about, using for generative AI to develop learning resources, including lesson plans and all that. But when we use AI, at whichever level or point, we will still want to see that the level of usage is actually controlled. So if I use AI to generate a lesson plan, which is supposed to be submitted to a regulator for confirmation, and they also pass it through some checks and notice that everything I've done is 100% AI or 90+% AI, the first impression is that I've not done anything. So yes, use it. We can use it to develop our lesson plans, whether for our regulators or for our own use. But we still will want that when somebody subjects your work to critical analysis, whether using the AI tools like Turnitin and others, the work will not be too much. That AI in it will not just show that much. Even the part that is not detected by the AI tool, it isn't that you didn't use AI, you used it, but you had a way to go around it, to make it original, to make it yours. And that's what we are hammering on. So please, regulators will not have an issue. Please, regulators will not have an issue with you using AI to generate a lesson plan or a resource. But when they subject it to critical analysis, a larger part of it should be coming from you. Though, even that larger part coming from you, you had it fine-tuned from AI, and that becomes yours. Thank you.
Okay.
So the key word is the human aspect shouldn't be missing from your submission. So even though you use the AI, but you should go through it, and the things that you feel like this is not right, you modify them.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I think some people just put it the prompt in, generate it, and just copy and paste it.
Yes, that's the problem.
Yeah, Dr. Humphrey, do you have a question again? I can see your hand up. Elijah, do you also have a question so that we can wrap up? Elijah, Dr. Humphrey, do you have a question?
No question for this.
Okay. So, Yin.
Yeah.
Anamfo. Yes.
Anamfo, yeah. Good morning to everybody. Thank you, Prof, for the wonderful presentation. I want to put up this so that we look at it. I think the presentation catered for some aspect of it when he said teachers should be seen as gatekeepers. I'm asking this because we are encouraging and promoting the development of critical thinking among our children or among the students we learn. Most of the students use AI, especially the generative AI, as though they were using Google, where they just type in information and then they pick the answers. The knowledge or the skills to even adapt output from AI to reflect their own thoughts becomes very difficult. So what most of them do is that they produce the information as it is, and then they bring it forward for marking. Interestingly, some students presented information to us when we conducted some assessment. And those of them who came with AI, raw information from AI, generative AI, ChatGPT for that matter, even went ahead to add some of those footnotes that always come with the tool that if you want to, yes. So you want to ask what happens to learners' prior knowledge, where they draw knowledge from to answer or to solve immediate problem. So maybe if Prof can give us a word or two on how best we can look at this, where learners' prior knowledge becomes very crucial and maybe solving a problem critically, amidst maybe the use of AI as we are discussing. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, like I said, details on that is likely, will be contained in the subsequent webinars, I believe. But what I can say is that, yes, critical thinking is really, really important. That we don't, you see, and that's what we have been talking about from the beginning, that we are in charge. And from the, for the practical work I gave, once at every point in time, you come in, and then you can even have a way to challenge the system to do what you think is right, subjecting it to that analysis and all that means that you are also conscious and you are critical about what you are doing. That's very important. And that is our responsibility as teachers as well. So and I also give you ways you can also use as a teacher to confirm whether what you are getting from the students are really entirely AI, or you can tell the level of AI in those particular works. So please, as for the critical thinking part, that is what we have been talking about from the beginning. Let's see the human part. That thinking, that human element in your work, right? And I'm sure for the practical part of it, as we move along to the other webinars, you will get more information on that, I believe. Thank you.
Okay. We are trying to wrap up. Isaac, maybe give us the last question or comment.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning once again.
Good morning.
Please, I'm Isaac from NT College of Education.
Okay.
Actually, I was happy when Prof was given an example or a scenario where after the submission of your work, you do oral presentation. I remember I tried one some time ago. I gave a work, then I decided to give another prompt that the answer is wrong, so it should generate another one, and it's rather generated another wrong thing. So when the students came to do their presentation, I decided to challenge their answers. I was telling them that your answers are wrong. Yes, they were also saying, okay, I said, go back to chat GPT and then input again. Then lo and behold, now they were confused. So is it correct? Or is it? I said, no. It has done something for you. So it is up to you to verify.
Exactly.
So like my brother said, someone will even go beyond copying the footnote.
Exactly, to paste.
Yes. But here, our problem here is the number of students in the classroom, whether senior high or the college. You are handling over 8 students and you've given them an assignment. They've all presented their assignments. Prof, how do you decide to tell them to present it one after the other? So we just try to forgo it and then just mark it anyhow we like it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's a good concern. The numbers sometimes also hinders the kind of quality we want to do to some of these things.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
like I was talking about these tools, government should make efforts to, once we're in the era of AI, these tools should no longer be who can afford and who cannot afford. I mean, all the tertiary institutions or maybe any other level of education, we should have these tools available for us as teachers. Now, when I give my students assignment, I don't let them print. I give them a submission link. Each of them will submit through that link, and the link automatically checks for AI before it gets to me. So before I will download them onto my machine to mark, I have all those that are AI are listed and those that are limited with AI. So this helps me to work. So rather than letting them print it manually, you have to physically go through and all that. If you also have these tools as teachers, submission is done online. They submit through the link. The AI, whatever tool, will check even before it lands on my desk to mark. And that will take off some pressure from me. So the teaching, then if I also on the presentation as well. Yes, sometimes I make them do group presentations. And then I ask the question, because if I know the presentation will be lengthy and the numbers are large, I put them in groups. Then I ask the questions. Those places I have seen to have been completed AI, I target those areas just to make sure I get it settled. And I have one funny thing. When I even know it's AI generated completely, it depends on assessment. Something can be AI generated completely, and I mean, which is correct, and the student is able to understand it and also explain to you the same way he got it from ChatGPT. That's even better than those who copy and paste without even knowing what they're even printing. Because some can use it, get good information, though they've not edited. So you check it, it's 100% AI. But the student is still able to give you that information, even from their head, which is also fine. So we are fighting two cases. Those who will use the AI to completely generate without understanding what they are giving you, and those who understands but have not decided to own it. This is another level. So there are two cases we are handling here, and both of them we will have to look at them collectively as teachers. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Although we are wrapping up, but we have the PRO for the Ghana Education Service on with us. So, Mr. Daniel Feni, let's give you. Can you let us hear from you?
Yes, thank you very much, Kingsley. And I think the presentation has been very educative and extensive. I've really learned a lot. I have this concern bothering my mind, and I wanted some clarity. So, Prof, thank you very much for the presentation. I intend that my question is first seen as a devil's advocate question, and then from a very layman's point of view. So, one, if a student or a teacher uses generative AI to produce an answer or a response to an assignment or some work, and the response produced solely from AI is correct, everything is perfect, the response is so right, why should the teacher be interested in how the student got that response? In other words, is the fact that the student has produced accurate response not an indication of the skill he has to give good prompt and accurate prompt to AI? In other words, there are some students who would still use AI and get it wrong. So if a student uses AI and gets it correct, should that not still be acknowledged as a skill from the student? So it looks like on one breath, we advocate for the use of AI.
Because even at work,
yeah, so
if I have the tool and it can help me do my work, and you are training me in school and I am using it correctly, it means that you are really preparing me for work.
Of course.
Hello. Daniel, please can we
using
mute your
classes to
microphone so
week,
that we can
and
listen
at
to
the
the question?
point something different came and it's better.
Hello. Okay, Daniel,
Yes, Kingsley, I'm here.
you end your submission? Yes, you can go ahead.
All right. So I'm ending my concern. So my concern is this: have we accepted AI usage, or we have not? If we have, to what extent? If I'm sending a student to Kumasi and he decides to board a car and he arrives in Kumasi, should I not be interested in the arrival? Why do I want to question the means? Why am I that interested in the means? Is the fact that he had the sense to board the car not in itself intelligent enough for us to acknowledge? And so I want to know the extent to which we want to accept AI, and at what point are they wrong really in the use of AI? Thank you.
So thank you, Piero. We are pressed for
hello,
time.
Prof, can I come in
But
briefly?
Just a minute.
Okay.
So, Dr. Moomin or Professor Moomin, CENDLOS, do you give some time so that we can end this, or we can move it to the next section, because we have gone beyond our time? If Professor Moomin can give a word. Dr. Humphrey, I get you. Just hold on for me and let me know, because we had Professor Moomin.
Yes, we are far ahead of that. Let's give 10 minutes maximum. We'll wind up. I think we can work with that.
Okay. Then we'll make it 5. So
5 minutes.
So maybe
we conclude.
Okay. So Professor Abdul, maybe you can touch on what the PRO asked.
Yes,
then I'll give
so
some seconds to the others to ask their question.
Yeah. So I think PRO's concern is very legitimate. So to what extent have we accepted AI in our educational system? So we are not just concerned about the information they give us, but we also want to be sure they understand what they are giving us. That's just the bottom line, not how they got it, but whether they understand what they are giving us. So, but you see, in other submissions, so if I give my students assignment and someone decides to go use AI entirely, I submit it to my AI checks, it is 100% AI. I also detect by my expertise that this is an AI generated text, because I'll give you some pointers to confirm that this is AI. And you even subject it to, you suspect, and then you subject it to the AI, for the AI detection tools, and it's able to tell that this is completely AI. The only thing we have to do is to confirm whether the student understood it. Like I said before, that is different. That is my assignment I've given them. I decide once the student understands what is given to me, even if it is an assignment, even if it is completely AI, I'm fine with it because I just want the student to get the knowledge. That's fine. But we have other things, other submissions, whether it is right or wrong. Once the AI is at a particular level, it is unacceptable. For instance, if our students do project work, published documents that are supposed to be published online, those ones, they are supposed to be strictly handled by that. So those ones, the AI has to be very, very limited. Like I said, some institutions will peg it at 20%, some 15%. So it's not that we are completely saying that your submission should be even teasers, even PhD teasers or master's teasers. We don't say 0% AI. No, we don't, because we give room for that AI to come in. So those ones, they are supposed to be public documents that will be published online. So the AI has to be very, very minimal so that a chunk of the work will be coming from you, the person. But if it is an assessment, maybe an assignment I've given my students as a teacher just within the classroom, and your interest is not just about finding out how they got the information, you just want to be sure that what they are giving to you, they really understand it, whether AI or not. That is not too also bad because it's just something you want to let them understand. That's all. It's a course you want to let them understand. But I still will want to maintain that we need to, whether, in fact, whichever way, let's be sure once we suspect AI, let's be very careful to confirm whether they understand what they are giving us or not. It's very critical. Thank you so much.
Okay. Dr. Humphrey, please go ahead. 1 minute, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prof. I just want to respond to the PRO. I think that one of the reasons for which sometimes we reject the work, our system places emphasis on examination. And, students are not allowed to even use the mobile phones and then their laptops in the exam. And so when you train the students to be so comfortable with the AI to the extent that they copy the AI and do not even do anything to it to make it wholesome, that student will go to the exam hall and fail. So the interest here is that students can use the AI, but we also want them to recheck whatever they have gotten from the AI and humanize whatever content they are presenting to us so that we have the trust that once in the classroom, in the exam hall, they will be able to produce, answers without the help of the AI. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Let's take Achu. 1 minute, please.
Yeah.
Achu.
Thank you so much. My question is, there was a time I did a work review of literature, and I didn't use AI actually, but I decided, okay, let me run this through an AI detector. When I ran the test, it told me 70% of it was AI, which I didn't use AI. So in that situation, what will I do as maybe an educator or a teacher when my students also face such a challenge? What should I do?
Prof, I think the second webinar will focus on some of these learning resources. So maybe we can note it down. Sam, can we hear you? 1 minute, please. Sam, if Sam is not there, Isaac, let's hear from you. 1 minute, please. Isaac. Okay, I think maybe their hands are, they just want to stretch their hands, so their hands are up. But on behalf of CENDLOS and on behalf of the Commonwealth of Learning, we want to thank all participants for joining this webinar. It's been very insightful and it's been very educative. Hopefully on the 23rd of this month, we'll still have the second part of the webinar, which will focus on the co-creation of learning resources using AI. So we'll entreat all of you to make time 10 a.m. on the 23rd to join this webinar series. And also note that the slides will be shared with you. If there was any question that wasn't addressed, kindly notice when we meet for the second section, we'll address it. So thank you to Professor Aziz, Abdul Aziz, for the insights that he has given us. It's been very educative. So we hope to get more in the second section on the 23rd. So I want to say that let's enjoy the afternoon and stay helpful, stay peaceful, and stay generative and AI. So use AI ethically
Yes.
and use it wise. Thank you so much. Director, Executive Director, do you want to add anything before we close?
I thank everybody. I can see the interest very high. AI, I always say it has come to stay. We need to adapt, learn how to use it. And of course, it's a learning platform, AI. I heard one asking about the relying on AI. What I'll mention is that AI also need originality from us to learn from. So if you are dependent on it, you will not even make the AI models perfect. And that's why originality is so important. I thank Prof. Aziz. The tools he proposed, the 4-step document processing, and the teacher-centered AI framework, term the VCE model. Very educative, very interesting. We can't wait for the next webinar. Thank you all.